million.
I went there to see the lifestyle,
Right.
and I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand.
Sean Diddy Combs. Yesterday, we told you how federal agents searched 2 of his properties as part of an investigation into alleged. Today, an updated civil lawsuit makes similar allegations.
My golden ticket was my voice, and I lost it.
Looks like Diddy's past deeds are finally catching up to him, and boy, is it a juicy saga. Despite his best efforts to elude the long arm of the law, the authorities have combed through every inch of both his opulent mansions, leaving no stone unturned, no pillow fluffed, and no bedsheet unfolded. It's like something straight out of a blockbuster thriller, with the tension escalating as each new development unfolds. But wait, there's more. Just when you thought this story couldn't get any more riveting, in steps Usher, dropping a bombshell that's sending shockwaves through the entertainment world. Usher claims he's sitting on a treasure trove of damning evidence that could send Diddy straight to the slammer. And get this, he says it dates all the way back to when he was a fresh-faced 13-year-old. Now, you might want to fasten your seatbelt for this roller coaster ride because it's about to take a dramatic turn. Usher's not just whispering secrets, he's shouting them from the rooftops, determined to expose the truth, no matter the consequences. So what's in that mysterious footage? What does Usher have to say about it? Well, folks, you better keep your eyes glued to your screens because this is one scandal that's about to unfold in real time. And trust me, you won't want to miss a single second of it.
When I got back, my mother, she told me, I know this is hard, but we're gonna fight for it. We're gonna fight through it, and I'm gonna make sure that they don't drop you.
When news broke about Diddy's legal troubles and the investigation swirling around him, there were whispers in the air, suggesting that Usher might be somehow involved. The lawsuit filed by Rodney Lil Rod Jones contained troubling allegations against Diddy, including claims of sex relationships with male performers, one of whom had performed at the Super Bowl and at a successful Vegas residency, as detailed in court documents shared by Complex. This sparked speculation among online sleuths that Diddy may have had an inappropriate relationship with a singer he once mentored. And then, the plot thickened as fans began piecing together the puzzle and discovered that the singer in question was none other than Usher himself. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you'll know that Usher and Diddy go way back. When Usher was just starting his journey to becoming the next Michael Jackson, he needed guidance and support, and that's where his relationship with Diddy began. At the tender age of 13, Usher moved into one of Diddy's mansions, a fact that resurfaced when an old interview from 2016 started making the rounds after the lawsuit made headlines. In the interview, Usher, known for hits like You Remind Me, opened up about his early days in New York City, living with Diddy as part of the Puffy Flavor Camp, where he was mentored by the renowned producer. Reflecting on those times during an appearance on The Howard Stern Show, Usher admitted, "I got a chance to see some things," hinting at a wild experience he may not have fully understood at the time.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp
There you go.
to learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Usher's determination to distance his own kids from a Puffy camp speaks volumes about the severity of his experience. He pledged never to subject his children to a similar situation, highlighting the gravity of what he went through. Usher went on to reveal that Diddy compelled him to keep his activities hidden from his parents.
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige, they didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Around the same time, another revealing interview featuring Usher and Diddy surfaced, this time with Kevin Hart as the interviewer. Diddy, reminiscing about their past, shared a lighthearted anecdote about their playful rivalry over Frosted Flakes when Usher was just 10 years old.
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like that's how. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes.
While some may have seen these interviews in a new light given the allegations against Diddy, Usher remained steadfast in his admiration for his former mentor, offering nothing but praise despite the storm swirling around them. Living under Diddy's roof during his formative years had a big impact on Usher's life, especially when it came to mentoring young talent like Justin Bieber. Back in 2008, Usher took Bieber under his wing before the young singer's career skyrocketed. In 2011, Usher opened up about how his early experiences with Diddy influenced his approach to guiding Bieber's career. Working with Diddy at a young age taught me the importance of mentoring Justin, Usher shared with the Daily Mail. You've got to keep the music fresh and relevant, he added, talking about their collaborations. Now, let's connect the dots and consider what might have gone down between Usher, Diddy, and Justin during those years. When the lawsuit against Diddy hit the headlines, people immediately started pointing fingers at old videos showing Justin interacting with Diddy. One particular video, uploaded on Justin's official YouTube account, showed Diddy orchestrating a challenge between a teenage Justin and an adult Diddy for 48 hours straight.
You ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing.
So, what went on during those 48 hours? Sure, they might have had some fun, but given the allegations swirling around Diddy and his relationships with younger boys, it's not a stretch to think that Justin might have been affected too. And when you think about Justin's wild and troubled past, which he's been open about, tracing back to when he was just 16 years old, around the same time he was supposedly getting close to Diddy, it raises some serious questions. Justin has admitted to struggling with substance addiction during that time, which he attributes to the influences around him. Let's dive deep into those videos of Justin hanging out with Diddy.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
This right here is my young brother right here. He's been a big supporter of mine. My album's coming out.
The vibe in those videos was definitely strange. Justin seemed a bit unsure, starting off with a stutter, and there was this odd moment where Diddy put his arm around Justin's shoulder. Now, we're not saying anything for sure, but there's definitely more to Justin's time with Diddy and Usher than meets the eye. And you know what they say? Sometimes silence says more than words, especially when rumors start swirling around. It's like there's a whole untold story just waiting to be uncovered. Now that we've connected the dots, it makes you wonder about Usher, who was also living under the same roof as Diddy. It's hard to imagine that his experience was all sunshine and rainbows. There were actually people who saw Diddy exposing Usher to some really questionable stuff. Take, for example, Ed Lover's recollection of a club scene where he saw Usher, only 14 or 15 years old, drinking straight from a bottle alongside Diddy. Now, just picture what else might have been going on when the doors were closed tight. Your imagination is as good as mine, but it's clear there's more to this story. Then there's the time Usher hinted at something between him and Diddy in an interview for Essence magazine. While he kept his cool talking about his future movie projects and business ventures, things got a bit hush-hush when the conversation turned to his time living with Diddy. Usher hinted, "I want to save some of it for my book one day." He dropped a hint, saying, "There was a lot of well stuff." Honestly, it's got me a bit worried for Usher. We've seen how it goes for people who spill the beans on Diddy in their books. But maybe with everything surfacing about brother love, Usher could be onto something with his book. He might spill all the juicy details. And it's not just Usher's words, even Diddy's own comments about Usher have been raising eyebrows. During a conversation, Diddy seemed to be admiring Usher and even teasing him about eating cereal in his kitchen. It sounded like playful banter between friends, but there's more to this story. There have been long-standing rumors that Diddy gave Usher a disease. Allegedly, this was going to be a topic in a book written by Kim Porter, but the book mysteriously vanished just before she passed away. Supposedly, it detailed how Diddy was involved with multiple men and how Usher's mom confronted him about his relationship with Usher and the disease. There were even claims of video footage showing Diddy taking advantage of Usher. But that evidence also disappeared when Kim's house was burglarized. Kim knew all of Diddy's secrets, including why he used a certain device. It's unclear if the disease mentioned in the rumors is the same one Usher was sued over. Remember when a woman named Quantasia Sharpton, along with others, sued Usher, alleging he didn't disclose his disease to them before engaging in intimate relations? Quantasia Sharpton, flanked by attorney Lisa Bloom, recounted her encounter with Usher during the press conference at the New York Hilton Midtown. Sharpton shared that she attended one of Usher's concerts a few years ago to celebrate her birthday with friends. Wearing a birthday crown, she was chosen to go backstage before the show, where she caught the eye of a security guard who later informed her that Usher was interested in her. After the concert, Usher called her on a blocked number, asking for her hotel and room number. About an hour later, he arrived at her hotel room and they engaged in sex activity. Sharpton revealed that Usher never mentioned anything about having a disease. She was only 19 years old at the time and had just celebrated her birthday. When reports surfaced about Usher allegedly having a disease, Sharpton was shocked. And it's not just one person, there are two others who also took legal action against Usher for not telling them about his disease before being intimate. Usher eventually took swift action to counter the lawsuit against him. His defense relied on several key arguments. Firstly, he contended that any alleged actions on his part were unintentional, stressing that the plaintiffs themselves bore some responsibility due to their own actions. Usher argued that any harm claimed by the plaintiffs was, at least in part, a consequence of their own negligence. In a report by TMZ in 2019, it was revealed that the $20 million lawsuit against Usher had been dismissed by the plaintiff. Court documents indicated that both parties had reached a mutually agreeable resolution. However, the specifics of this resolution were not made public. Following the dismissal of the lawsuit, speculation arose about the nature of the resolution reached between Usher and the plaintiff. While the exact terms were not disclosed, it was clear that the matter had been resolved out of court. Now, when it comes to Diddy, there are quite a few people who claim they have evidence that he's involved in things he shouldn't be. One particular individual deeply invested in exposing Diddy's alleged secrets is none other than Jaguar Wright. Even before the lawsuits involving Cassie surfaced, Jaguar had been openly discussing details in her interviews that seemed to mirror the accusations brought against Diddy by his accusers. In one of her articulate videos, Jaguar delved into Usher's early association with Diddy, highlighting a time when Usher was a mere 14 years old. She hinted at the possibility that Diddy may have transmitted a disease to Usher during this period, a disease that later garnered widespread attention, akin to the alleged transmission that occurred between Nia Long and Busta Rhymes. There's another celebrity who's been making waves, shining a spotlight on the shady side of Diddy, and that's none other than Wendy Williams. She's got quite the history with Diddy, dating back to her days at Hot 97 radio station in New York City, starting in 1994. Around that time, Diddy's Bad Boy record label was on the rise, boasting artists like The Notorious Big, Lil' Kim, Ma Dollar E, Faith Evans, and Total. During one episode of her radio show, The Wendy Williams Experience, back in 2009, Wendy spilled the tea about an alleged altercation with members of Total, a female R&B trio affiliated with Diddy's Bad Boy. Wendy claimed that she was nearly caught up in a physical confrontation with the group, but her then-boyfriend intervened to prevent things from escalating. It doesn't stop there. Wendy Williams was rumored to have some serious dirt on Diddy involving a controversial photo. Kirk Burrows, a former president at Bad Boy, revealed in a 2022 interview that there was a tense East Coast-West Coast feud between Bad Boy and Death Row Records in the 90s. During this time, Diddy's infant son was allegedly photographed with his rival, Suge Knight, and the photo found its way to Wendy Williams. But before she could spill the beans on her radio show, Diddy's team reportedly intervened to keep things under wraps. Then there's the bombshell from 2015 when Wendy speculated on her talk show that Diddy might have had some controlling tendencies, especially during his rocky relationship with Cassie Ventura. Fast forward to today, and Cassie has filed a lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of RP and mistreatment during their tumultuous 11-year relationship. The lawsuit was settled swiftly just a day after it was filed, raising eyebrows and stirring up even more controversy. Another individual who has been eager to shed light on Diddy's actions is Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard. If anyone's got a treasure trove of secrets about Diddy, it's him. In his interviews, Deal spilled some disturbing details about his ex-boss. He believes there's something fishy about the relationship between Diddy and Usher. According to Deal, there's a touchy situation with Usher involving Diddy. He hints at an incident that led Usher to the hospital, although he doesn't give specifics. Deal goes on to suggest that Diddy groomed Usher when he was just a teenager.
I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation.
Now, Deal leaves it up to Usher to tell the whole story, but he's clearly not happy about Usher giving Diddy a pass. He implies that he knows a lot more than what's being said. Before Usher moved to Atlanta, Deal claims he witnessed Usher having inappropriate interactions with older women under Diddy's watch. He recalls a particular incident at the Swiss Hotel involving Kim Porter and another woman. Usher allegedly kissed the woman right after she had performed an intimate act on Diddy. Deal's claims are unverified, but he points to an interview where Usher talked about his time at Flavor Camp during an appearance on The Howard Stern Show in 2016. Usher admitted to experiencing some wild times and witnessing some things, but denied seeing orgies. However, he made it clear that he wouldn't want his own child to attend the camp. Gene Deal suggests that Usher's reluctance to let his child experience something similar to what he encountered under Diddy's mentorship speaks volumes. If his time with Diddy was truly enjoyable, why would he deny his own child that same experience? This raises questions about the nature of Usher's past interactions with Diddy. But with Diddy under intense scrutiny, now may be the opportune moment for Usher to share his own story. With Diddy's potential downfall looming, the protective shield that once surrounded him may no longer be as strong. Usher may see this as an opportunity to come forward with evidence and information that could contribute to Diddy's downfall. Furthermore, there are indications that Usher may be preparing to share his experiences with authorities. By providing evidence to the authorities, Usher could potentially contribute to the legal challenges Diddy may face in the future. It's important to note that there are plans to release a documentary that will shed light on Diddy's alleged misdeeds, similar to the way documentaries exposed the actions of R. Kelly. This documentary could further add to the pressure Diddy is facing and bring more attention to the allegations against him. There's also a lot of talk on the streets lately about Usher seeking justice for what he claims he endured under Diddy's mentorship. The recent surge of lawsuits hitting the headlines, especially the detailed legal document from Cassie, seems to have stirred up some deep-seated emotions in Usher. It's like he's been forced to revisit all those painful memories. And now he's ready to confront them head-on and demand accountability for what he says happened to him. But here's where things get interesting. Rumor has it that some big names in the industry, including Diddy himself, are trying to sway Usher into changing his mind. They're whispering in his ear, telling him he's being ungrateful and that he should just let bygones be bygones. They're emphasizing how pivotal Diddy was in shaping Usher's career, suggesting that without Diddy's influence, Usher's career might have sunk before it even began. Amidst the swirling speculation surrounding Usher's pursuit of justice against Diddy, a prevailing narrative has emerged suggesting that whatever transpired between the two wasn't intentional on Diddy's part. It's as though there's a concerted effort to sow seeds of doubt in Usher's mind, causing him to second-guess his own feelings and recollections. However, fans aren't swayed by this narrative. They're taking to social media platforms en masse to express their disbelief, with some even resorting to humor, envisioning a hypothetical surviving Diddy series, where Usher would be cast as the lead in the first episode. Interestingly, one notable figure who seems particularly invested in the idea of such a series is none other than 50 Cent. On November 20th, 50 Cent dropped a hint that he might be considering producing a movie titled Surviving P. Diddy. This revelation came hot on the heels of Cassie's lawsuit against Diddy, as well as another lawsuit against Diddy's former colleague, Harve Pierre, alleging mistreatment. Although the notion of a documentary titled Surviving Diddy initially started as a joke circulating on the internet, it has since garnered significant traction and support from the public. In fact, a fabricated poster featuring Diddy's visage alongside the Netflix logo circulated on social media, leading many to believe that such a documentary was indeed in the pipeline. However, it's worth noting that the Netflix poster turned out to be a hoax. Nevertheless, 50 Cent's apparent interest in producing a film about the subject appears genuine. He has even hinted that the movie would undergo the same level of legal scrutiny as the documentary focusing on R. Kelly did in 2019. Now, if you're wondering about the piece of evidence that Usher is purportedly handing over to the authorities, it's currently under wraps and will only be revealed once the federal investigation concludes. The anticipation surrounding this potential revelation underscores the gravity of the situation and the potential ramifications it could have for all parties involved. It's clear that many fans are eagerly awaiting further developments in this unfolding saga. But what's your take on all of this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And while we wait for more updates, be sure to check out our other videos for additional details and insights that you won't want to miss.